some days ago, I got an email from Swaggy Zebra who challenged me to a shell challenge. And oh yikes. Now Swaggy Zebra is a Swedish person who also makes Sims content here on YouTube. And not only did she challenge me with the shell challenge, she also challenged me to make the exterior in a traditional Scandinavian style. I, of course, accepted, mostly out of fear, because who knows what the Swedish might do. But in return, I also made her a Scandinavian shell challenge. So if you want to go and see how that went for her, then go check her out. But watch my video first because I'm desperate for attention. Yeah. Let's start the challenge, shall we? Oh, we freaking shall. Oh, I'm not even prepared for this. So here is the wonderful shell that Swaggy Zebra made for me. It's... oh my gosh. I already know that the roofing is going to be a nightmare. Look at this. Especially this part right here. The reverse octagon. Oh my gosh. I have no words. We also got an octagon room over here. Got parts sticking out. We got walls. What am I going to do with those? And we got this part right here. I don't even know what to do with that part. But let's have a look inside. And yes, we have some diagonal ribs. Oh, I hate them with a passion. I mean, goody golly gosh. And I gotta make this into a traditional Scandinavian build. I don't even know if I can do this. Because, you know, traditional Scandinavian builds are very famous for just being a box. As you can see in the background right here. We're not fancy with our shapes. No, not at all. We make a box and call it a day. And that's it. And we got lots of boxes and stuff going on here. So, oh yikes to you. Oh, and by the way, if you were wondering, they have updated the game, but I haven't updated my mods. But don't you worry. We shall move on from that. But okay, so what am I thinking for the shell? What can I do? That is a very good question. Let's get in some paint. That always helps me when I'm stuck. So let's see. We of course got the traditional colors of the red one and the yellow houses. And it's also popular with white houses. And sometimes I've seen blue houses too. So what do we want to go for? You know what? I got an idea. What if we make them into tiny houses and each will have their own color? I think that will kind of save the shape. Maybe if we make them into separate houses. But it's still going to be pretty weird. So how can we cook this weirdness into the story of this house? How? Okay, you know what? We're going to do a little inspiration tour. So hang on. Nora's going to go on Google and inspirational lies around. No, I'm going to look at some pictures. And let's see. We got a bunch of red houses. We got a stop sheet. That's wonderful. I'm not going to make that. Not today. Oh, I'm in the way. I'm so sorry. Hold on. There we go. And here's the stop sheet. I'm still in the way. That's absurd. I'm not going to change my position once more. Oh, we got some houses by the water. Oh, wait. I know what we can do. Hold on. You know those houses that are on stilts by the water? Norway house, water, stilts. It's like this. Those kind of houses. Yes! I want to make something like that. Then we can just pretend that they're kind of old, hence kind of weird. Mix and match them up. I mean, look at that. That is weird. I like that. I think we're gonna make something like that. That would have been kind of cool. Don't you think? I think so. And alright, so we have 4 colors of the houses. Therefore, we need to have 4 houses on the inside. But I don't really think I can make 4 houses though. Okay, so what if we divide it up right there and divide it up somewhere along those lines? Then we have 3 houses. Okay, we're gonna have 3 houses instead of 4. You know, they can mix and match the colors. That was the old part. That's the new part. I don't know. Okay, I think that is an idea. And then we'll just raise that up and put it on some stilts. Yeah, look at that. That is funky. I think that could be a pretty good idea. Don't you think? Please say so. And then we will have some what's everywhere. Okay. I think I might do that. I think I might. But alrighty-o. I have, as you can see, I painted it all in. And now we gotta do the windows. We gotta find those classic Scandi windows. I'm thinking maybe something like that. But you can see on the window that is going up. The window is going up when you push it up, you know, to open the window. And we do not have that. What a shame. I like to use these windows because they're not too fancy. But whoa, that gets thick on the diagonal wall. Oh, okay. We cannot use those. What are we gonna use instead? You know what? I think I'm gonna use this one. The mega window on this part. Good. We got 1 window down. And then you know what? We are gonna use these windows. I know that the windows are going up, but other than that, they're the closest to what we need. That does not look weird on the diagonal wall, okay? We gotta think about that too. So we're gonna have those windows all along here. And then we could have this teeny tiny little window up there. And then just some more windows all around town. And ta-ta-ta, my windows are up. Whoa, looking nice, maybe? Yeah. Okay, now for this part right here. We need to fence this all in with something. I mean, maybe a regular fence for starters. We can go like so. And in there. No? Are you kidding me? Go. Oh no. What do I do then? The fence won't go there. What do I do then? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go into the debug section and try to find the fence. That works. And then... oh no. This looks awful. The fence that I found was this one, but I had to size it down a bunch of times because that little thingy thing right there is super small. Nothing works. We are not gonna talk about that. I'm done with it. No, absolutely not. But anyways, we kind of need to support this whole house. These parts right here that's sticking out, it looks kind of weird. So we're gonna use some corbels to support it up. Like so. Looks ugly. Fine for me. And I'm also gonna frame this all in. Some columns. We do love our columns sometimes. Boom, boom, boom. The columns are up. And then, ooh, what am I gonna do for this part? Maybe this part is gonna lead out to something. We just put a door there. That could be like a house that leads out to something. What that something is, I'm not really sure. But we're gonna figure that out later on. Because now I really need to do the roofing. Oh, yikes. How am I gonna do this? I mean, we can start off with the roof right there. We do love those kind of roofs. And oh no. Okay, so the bit at the back is wider than the bit at the front. Oh, gee. Okay, gotta fix that. Push it in. Take another part. Push it out. Go along. That looks horrible. No, absolutely not. No. I'm astounded by this. But okay, on this part, we need another gable roof with a diagonal one. Let's plop that on there. That can't go on there because invalid diagonal what? Intersection. What? You can't go on there? Can you go all the way out? No, you can't. What a mystery. Okay, well, what about a hipped roof? That works. Hipped roofs are not that common with their traditional builds. But I think we gotta make an exception today. There we go. And now for this part right here. What am I even supposed to do with that part? If you have an octagonal roof, no, that's gonna look weird. What if, oh, what am I supposed to do here? Am I gonna take a hipped roof, flop it along there? No. What about this roof? Oh, that's gonna look weird. Gee. Okay, let's try this again. I'm gonna have a gable roof right there. A hipped roof, I mean. And then if you plop that hipped roof diagonal on this side, and then just shenanigan either all around. No, like so. Oh, that looks awful. Gee. Okay. Alright, I know it looks awful, like real bad, but I have tried so many different methods, and this is the only thing that works for us to actually cover the entire roof. And I've also tried to use some fences to make a little roof moment up here, but that didn't work either because it's such a weird shape. So that's a roof, and now I'm gonna paint it in. Boom, 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 boom. It looks a little bit cleaner. It does, and maybe we can add that on there. That looks weird, but I want it. Yeah. Oh, this looks awful. Do not look at the back. Do not look at it. No. But here's our roof. I'm just happy that I got a roof on this mess, to be honest with you. And maybe we can hide that awful part up with a chimney. What about this chimney? No. What is a Scandinavian chimney? Hold on. I need to check. What is a Scandinavian chimney? Okay, I've had a look outside of my window, and we just have a boring old chimney with nothing. Kind of looks like this, but totally square. I don't want that. I want that one. I know that some people have that type of chimney. I'm gonna plop it down right there, and maybe we can have some of these. The old-timey roof. When? There you go, there you go. Sure. Yeah. Okay, and now for the the real part of this. How are they gonna get into the places? I mean, where are we even gonna have the doors? Interesting question. Okay, so that is house number 1. Okay, maybe we can have the door right there. That is an awful placement for it, but I think that is gonna be a bathroom. You know, and then house number 2, I think the door needs to be here, and house number 3, the door can be somewhere around there. All right. And how are they gonna get into this place? And what am I gonna do with that wall? Interesting. What if we make a little brygge, a dock? Just throwing it out there, we can make a brygge, and the brygge can start around there, go around, and where is it gonna end? Maybe there? I mean, yeah, sure, it could be like that. And then right here, we're gonna have a staircase, and I think, what do I think? You go for the steps of wood. I'm gonna plop the staircase right there, maybe turn it around a little bit. Cool, a staircase, and I put up that little trimmy tram. What is that called? Half wall trims. Put up that one, you know, kind of looks like a fence now. Beautiful. And now I'm kind of curious if this is allowed in challenge. I didn't remove any walls. I just added on some platforms. I think that's okay. And I even put up a little column over there to support it all. You know, I don't want this place to fall down. No. Oh, I also need to put in the water. I kind of forgot to do that. But let's okay, now I know what we're gonna do. Right here, we're gonna have another brygge, a dock. But this brygge, that is our boat dock. That it is indeed gonna be. So what do I need to do then? I need to get me a fence and make a brygge. Not like that though. Kind of like so. But oh, hold on. I need to get me boat in. If we just plop down a random boat, you can see that the freaking brygge is very tall. But the rest of the houses needs to be very tall so they don't get taken by the water. So I think what I can do is take this out a little bit, plop down a wall and delete that part, and then just have a separated brygge. Kind of like so. And can we put up a staircase right there so we can oh, I took a video. That was not good. But can we connect this little brygge with the staircase? Oh yes, we can. Good. Okay, my plans work somehow. And that is indeed a very, very lovely dock, do you think? We shall see though. I'm gonna put in the water right now, which is kind of scary, not gonna lie. And we will finally see how this place is going to look. Yeah. Okay, so this place over here, that needs some land, so we can't have water there. But we for sure need some water here. And it can kind of go out a little bit, like so. Then we need some water under the house. Maybe if we take the small brush, we can just make some funky shapes. So it's kind of like tree branching all the way. I know you can't see anything right now, but I think it's gonna be cool. And you know what? That is looking kind of cool. In my mind, it is looking kind of cool. Because we have to imagine the whole water with the rocks and plants and all of that. So I think that these squiggly squigglers are gonna be kind of cool. But I have to think about that. So while I kind of think about the whole ocean thing, our beautiful ocean right here, we need to make this dock look more like a dock. And how we're gonna do that, I don't know, but I need to put in the boat first. What is a very Scandinavian boat? Interesting. Ooh, yo ho ho, this boat right here. That kind of looks like it, like an old Viking boat. I know that it's from the Life and Death expansion pack, aka meaning it's not really Scandinavian, but it does have that vibe. So I'm gonna have that. And then to make this dock look more like a dock, I am gonna put in some of these, the hardboard fences, and like so. And then on this side, we're gonna have these ones without the freaking rope. Then I need to lower it all down with tool mud. Boom, shamalam, looking neat and nice. Oh, and then people, we need a ladder. Oh, we have this pool ladder, but it doesn't go all the way down. And I want it to go further down, so I need to. Oh, what do I need to do? Okay, you know what? I don't know what to do. We have this ladder right here. That was from the gallery, but it doesn't really look like a dock ladder. We have this ladder that doesn't reach all the way down to the water, which is kind of strange, you know? So what if we just combine them together? You know, this is a new ladder. That's the old one. They upgraded, but I just did not remove the old ladder. So I'm gonna do that. What a hoot and half that was. Okay, what more are we gonna have on this dock? Ooh, we could maybe have a beach towel and some lounges over here with an umbrella. Beautiful. And then we can have this lobster trap over there and that lifeguard ring. Sure, they need to be safe. Okay, cool. That is our dock. Now we need to put up some details on this house, and I've already kind of begun with the lights. But we can also put up these lamp pots, window boxes, neighborhoodly window boxes. That was a hard word to say, but I'm gonna be putting that up here and there. Not everywhere, but here and there. And then on the back here, we also kind of need some stuff, so I'm gonna put up a bench right there. And what about this thing on the wall? You know, they need to be safe all around. And oh, of course, a trash bin. And then you can get a cycle wheel. And oh, okay, we can have this hopscotch. You know, some kids were here, and they were hopscotching away. And then a little bike right there. Maybe like a hose as well. We need to think about that. Do they really need any more water? Do they? Who knows? But now we at least know where the water is coming from, you know? It's coming from under here. Beautiful. Beautiful storytelling by Nora. And then we kind of need something to put on that wall right there. It's kind of empty. It's just kind of there. What can we use? What if we just have some nets on there? I mean, maybe it at least has a purpose now. I think we need to be happy about that. And then we can have a net over here. Gotta lower it down though. Like so. And with another ring. Oh, they're very safe, these people. And that was indeed the whole build. No, we're not done with the build, guys. No. We are done with the exterior part of this build. Look at that. 3 good old houses lounging away on the water. Life is good. And as you can see, that part right there is not on stilts. And I do not know why. And I've been trying for a hot minute now to make it into stilts, but I can't. So we're gonna ignore that. And now we're gonna start with the landscaping of this place. And I'm excited. I am. And by the way, side note, I just want to thank you guys so much for using my credit code when you're gonna buy a game, one of the Sims games. I just want to thank you guys so freaking much for that. You know, me getting 5% commission on any of your purchases does not seem like much, but in the end, that money goes a long way for me. Because if you didn't know, I'm a student right now, and I have a student loan to pay off, and I'm currently not working, so I gotta get my money from somewhere to pay my bills, and unfortunately, YouTube does not pay that much. I don't know why I'm whispering, but I am. But anyways, I just want to thank you guys so much. Because of you, I've actually been able to pay my bills every single month, which is actually unbelievable. I had the words, and I'm truly just so freaking grateful for all you do, so just thank you so much. I don't often go on these beaches, so I don't know what I'm doing right now, but just thank you. Thank you so much. Anyways, back to my build. And what am I thinking? Actually, is we have a staircase over there that we do indeed have. So I'm just gonna sketch this out very quickly. Not a sketching corner styles now. Right, so what if we have a pathway that goes from the staircase and goes around that pond and then out here? I think that could be kind of cool. And then right here we could have some mailboxes and some trash bins. We love our trash bins. And then we could have like a bench over there or something, because that looks like a little bench moment. And then we of course need some rocks around the water. And then maybe we could have some rocks around the pathway as well. And then we'll have some bushing over here and some over here and maybe some trees all around. I think that could be a good idea. Alright, sketching moment over. It is beautiful. Now let's do this for real. So let's begin with the mailboxes first and the trash bins. So for that, I'm gonna put up a little half wall, kind of like that, and then maybe it goes inwards, a funky moment. And then we just paint that in some wood coloring. Wood coloring? I have no idea. It's all like that. Then we shall put in our trash bins. Boom, boom, boom. And then 3 mailboxes. There we go. I need to lower them down with tool mud. But just like a Zoa. Cool moment. And then we're gonna have a bench over there. So boom, shamalam, bench is up. Beautiful. And now I am indeed gonna paint my pathway. And I think we're gonna use the pebbles, please. And it was gonna start over here. Yes. And then curve around and right there. Okay, so I need to make a curvy verby. Oh my gosh, Nora, check yourself. And maybe the pathway is also gonna go up to the bench and by the trash bins as well. Yeah, I think that could be kind of cool. I need to do it a lot better though. What is this? Oh my gosh, Nora. Hello? What happened? Okay, hold on. Excuse me. What is going on? Oh no. I was doing my patterning and I did it real nice and neatly. And then I accidentally pressed the button, the F1 key, I do believe, which which takes you out into managed worlds. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I'm gonna go back in. Then I went back into the lot and we're back here. That is not fair. And yes, by the way, I decided to raise up this part a little bit so we can show off our rocks a little bit cleaner. But it also means that this part is going on, but we're gonna hide that up with some bushes. But what has happened with my pathway? I have used so much time on that. Do I have to do that all over again? Oh my gosh. And this is also super weird because I for sure did not use that patterning. I used this one. Are we okay? Sims, are you okay? I mean, I know that's a dumb question because when are they ever okay? But this is unbelievable. Oh no. Well, Retro, I've done my pathway all over again. It was wonderful. Hopefully it will not glitch this time. And let's move on to something else. I am going to put up the rocks that was supposed to be around this pathway that I painted twice, people. Brickfrack. And for those rocks, I'm going to use the rocks from the Business and Hobbies expansion pack. Because why not? It's only fitting, people. And you know, I'm going to put the rocks around the whole pathway and around the house. I'm not going to put the rocks around the pond or ocean, I mean, just yet. I'm going to do that later on because I'm kind of nervous about it. But look at that, look at that. My rocks are up and it's looking pretty cool. Look at that. The pathway going in, the rocks everywhere. That is frick cool. I'm enjoying that. Alright. And now I think I am brave enough to put up the rocks around the pond. The ocean, I mean. Gee, it's an ocean, people. We're going to pretend that it's an ocean or something. I don't It's probably just a pond at this moment, but I am going to put up my rocks and that's going to take such a long time, but I'm going to be happy to do it. Somewhat happy. And I'm also going to put some plants around it here and there for the ambiances, you know. And there we go. My rocks are up around this pond and some of the plants as well. I am going to have more plants around here, but I have decided that I'm also going to have some trees around here. So I kind of need to know what those trees are before I put up more plants, you know. But before I do that, I am finally going to do this part over here. This weird old lift part. I need to hide that up. And I'm going to hide that up with some messy old plants. And maybe some rocks too. I'm not really sure, but I think I am, you know. How I'm going to do that? Great question. But I'm going to use some of the plants around the Business and Hobbies pack and some other plants too. My favorite plants, you know. Gotta put them up all neat and nicely. And would you look at that, people? My plants are up. It's looking kind of messy, kind of a little bit too much, but I had to put up that much to hide up the cliff part, you know. So it ended up like this. Am I happy? It could have been a lot better. But again, we have that cliff part. We need to hide that up. So there we go. There you frick go. And now, people, I'm gonna put up the rest of my trees. So I'm gonna have some trees over here and some trees over here. Trees everywhere. We need to hide this whole place in. We gotta make an illusion that this is in nature and not in the city. And there we go. Our trees are up. Packed it all in. Beautiful. And I think, actually, what if we put up a swing set right here that goes straight into the trees? They haven't used that in a long while. That's kind of funny. And then we can have a boat right there. The forgotten boat that they don't really know what to do with. Nobody wants to remove it. That's a hassle and a half, I tell ya. And then we can have like a park table over here. Doesn't really make sense because you can't really walk down here, but it looks kind of empty, so I'm gonna put it down there. Good luck with getting down there, people. But that is not my problem. And would you look at that, people? Oh my! The whole outside is now teeny too. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. And I've kind of tried to make a little illusion back there, as you can see, that the water is going deeper than it actually is. If that worked or not, it's not up to me. And now I do realize that I put up trash bins right there, but also trash bins against the house. Ooh. Oh, you know what? Okay, solve the problem already. These trash bins right here, they're for paper, and these trash bins, they're for the normal trash. That might seem weird to some of you guys, but that's exactly how it is in my neighborhood. Don't ask me why that is, but it is like that. But okay, now we're gonna begin with the inside of this house. These houses, I mean. And for these houses, I kind of had a little idea that these are not gonna be regular houses. No. They're gonna be summer cabins. Summer sea cabins. Not to be confused with a beach cabin. No. Summer cabins by the ocean. I think that makes more sense for the story. The story that I'm stirring up right here. Because they are kind of weird and they are kind of small as well. So they are teeny tiny cabins. Okay, good planning by Nora. And since these are cabins by the same company, it would only make sense that they all have the same wallpaper. That's one right here, the classic one. Boom, boom, boom. And also the same flooring. What type of flooring am I thinking of? Oh, maybe this one, you know, kind of weathered, but also kind of smooth. And why is this part not connected? I give up. Anyways, I like so. Beautiful. And later on, I gotta figure out how they're gonna get up to the second floor because it's so small. But you know what? Let's not think about that right now. Or we kind of do, because now I need to furnish this place. Yikes. Well, let's begin with house number 1. This one right here. And we're gonna have a hoot and a half. So first of all, I think we gotta do the layout of this place. For real, skis. But what are we gonna do though? I think this annoying little part right here. I think I just need to block that off. Oh, what happened there? Oh yeah, that's right. Well, I'm gonna fix that later on. But anyways, ignore the algae. Ignore it. But that can be the bathroom, and then we need a staircase to get up here. Oh, that's right. Let's see. I'm just gonna put in some test furniture right now, so I know where we're at in life. What if we have a bed over there? They can squeeze through there. Yeah, a half tile. And since we have a bike out here with some shenanigans going on, we could safely assume that they have some kids. So if you just place up a bed right there, and then we need to have a staircase over there. Right. Let's just plop down a staircase right there. And then I'm gonna move it in. No. I need to finagle it around. One more time. And then I go like so. Kind of deal. That could maybe work. And then if we put up a wall right there, and then we will have our kitchen in there, and then a dining space. And this is a living room, bathroom. And then up here, we're gonna have a kid's bedroom right there. And that's gonna be the primary bedroom. Boom, boom, boom. That was the layout. I think that could be a plan. And now we gotta put in the furniture. Oh, yes, we gotta do. So before we start with the furnishing of this house, I gotta do a little mood board. Alright? Just a teeny tiny little mood board. So this build, that's gonna be some summer cabins by the sea. And we're gonna have 3 of them. And they're gonna be small. So what does that mean? That means that the people who own these cabins are not currently at their cabins because it's not summertime yet. Or when I posted this, it is the 1st of June, but whatever. It's not summer yet, so they're not currently at their cabins. So that means that we're kind of looking at their cabins while they're away. You know, they're cleaned up kind of. There's not much personal stuff in there. Kind of deal. A little bit of personal stuff, but not like normal house personal stuff. Catch my drift. So with the first house, I want the first house to be kind of a traditional sea cabin and kind of fancy. Not super fancy, but they know their way around the cabin, you know, that type of fancy. And they have cleaned up the place a little bit before they left too. So we gotta keep that in mind because there's some real good people. Well, good is subjective. They know how to clean. That's what they're good at. So let's start with the living room first. And by the way, as you can see, I changed up the direction of the staircase. I felt a lot better. But anyways, the living room, that's gonna be right here. And it really isn't the best place for a living room because of the doorway, but it is a cabin after all. And with this challenge, it did not say anywhere that the inside of this build had to be traditional Scandinavian. Or did it? Did I read that email wrong? Oh, I don't think so, at least. I'm not gonna read it again. I'm building. But yeah, I don't think the inside of the cabins are gonna be super traditional Scandinavian style, but somewhat. I have to think about that though. Oh, okay. So if you have some couches like so, then we have an open wall right there. I'm gonna close that off, actually, because it looks a little bit nicer. Then I'm gonna get the real couches in. So for the real couches, I mean, we can go with something like so. Hear me out. They're airy, breezy, and nice. And we kind of need that for this place. Looks super uncomfortable, but I know some people who has these type of couches, actually. So those are the couches. And I think, oh, you know what would be kind of cool? If the color theme for this place is white and dark blue. Because there are a lot of sea cabins, not beach cabins, sea cabins that are white and dark blue. Or not dark blue, but blue. Then we need a coffee table. And what coffee table is that gonna be? Help me, please. I mean, we could go for maybe something like that. Not very traditional, but I said that this was gonna be kind of a traditional cabin. So I'm staying correct with my style. And then for the rug, we can go with this one. Where the frick am I gonna place that rug? Maybe there. Okay. And then we can have a chair in that corner. Boom. A little bit of yellow too. That's always nice. And then by this wall, we need some wall art. I think we could maybe go for these ones. Not my favorite paintings, but they are blue. And then we're gonna pair that up with some shelves. And then on those shelves, we are gonna have some cute old knickknacks. And then by here, we're gonna have a skinny old table. Oh, with this light. Hello. We need that. Fun. Beautiful. Oh, and now for the curtains. Oh, my favorite part. The curtains. I mean, what can we go for? Maybe we can go for something like that. I mean, sure. First try. I'm happy with that. Oh, and then we can have this on the wall. Where did it go? Okay, I gotta raise it up to high elements. That's kind of fitting. Like it. Okay, so that was the living room with the light in the ceiling. And now we are moving on to the kitchen over here. And what type of kitchen are we gonna go for? I mean, I think this fridge. I mean, look, it's old. I know. But it's quite common in Scandinavia to have just a single door fridge and not the double doors. So there you go. And for the counters, we're gonna go for something traditional. So maybe these ones. And then for the stove, we're gonna go with that one. Easy breezy. This is an old kitchen. Oh, and maybe back here, we can have these backsplashes in the blue one. That is exactly the type of color that I was talking about. Yes, absolutely amazing. And I'm gonna pair that up with some cabinets and my stove hood. And also my simple little kitchen knickknacks. Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. Very simple, very neat and nice. They are not currently here. And then right here, we're gonna have a trash bin and another trash bin. Boom. One is for normal trash. The other is for food trash. Oh yeah. And then by here, we're gonna have a table and we need a teeny tiny one. What about that one? Some scrapped up chairs. Yes. A very nice table movement. Then I think back here, we could squeeze in this one. That's kind of on theme, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's on theme at least. No. And that was indeed a very, very teeny tiny kitchen. Looking cute, looking blue. Good. And then what do we need to do? Gotta fill up this space. Okay, you know what would have been kind of funny to put under the stairs? A box. You know, that's where you put your mess, underneath the stairs. And we could just also have a random poof back there. And maybe a broom. Yes, that is a movement. And then for the entryway, we need a little mail slot thingy thing. Mail slot. That's not what it's called. The hooked on storage maybe. I don't know. But we're gonna have that. And that was a beautiful entryway. Cute and tiny. And then for the bathroom. What are we gonna do for the bathroom? We need some bathroom tiles. That's kind of important. So we could go with these ones. The sunshine diamond. ones in blue. We have a blue one. Is that blue? Kind of looks like blue. Okay, we're gonna have that. And then for the wall tiles, I do believe we're just gonna go for the standard old boring tiles because hey ho, this is a cabin by the sea. It's gonna be the old standard stuff, you know? And okay, this is a 2x2 bathroom. And how did you do that again? So if you have a shower right there, and then a sink, and then a toilet, and then just push the toilet right there. I think that works. I think that's how you do it. Yeah, if that's not how you do it, then I'm sorry. It's been a while since I made a 2x2 bathroom, you know? But we can have that shower, and this sink right here, that fits the theme, and the toilet is gonna be squeezed into there. Boom, boom, boom. I made a bathroom, you guys. And then I can squeeze the towel right there. Oh yes. And we need some toothbrushes, and our good old soap, and maybe some shower stuff. Oh, and the toilet roll, of course. Boom, boom, boom. And then it would be kind of nice with the window for this toilet. So do we have a teeny tiny window for this teeny tiny room? What about that one? Oh yes, that works. Sure. With some gosh awful curtains on that. My job here is complete. What a bathroom. And now for the second floor up here, where we're gonna have a primary bedroom. That's right. I need to find a good bed for the primary bedroom. Maybe we can have this bed. It's kind of on theme. Alright. Now I need to find some teeny tiny nighttime tables I can squeeze in there, you know? So what about these ones? If I just size them down a bunch of times in that color maybe, we might indeed have some nighttime tables. And as you can see, not that many Nicky Nikes because they are not here, people. But they have indeed left the book. So, ooh, that they have. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. But we can put up this picture collage over there. That fits right in. And then we do need a dress up here. And it gotta be kind of traditional like. This is too modern. But you also gotta fit that little space. Oh, what can we do? Okay, what if we take this one and just size it down a smidge? Oh my gosh, this figured thing. I think that's squeezed in there pretty neat and nicely. That is a strange wall. But sure, that can work. And then on this wall, I think we need this mirror. The boat mirror, as I like to call it. Gotta load it down though. Oh my gosh, top left. Here we go. Gotta load it down. Kind of like so. Ta-ta-ta-ta. And then what else can we have? We could have a plant. Maybe some extra shoes that are just for boating and for partying. The cabin shoes. I don't know. But that was the primary bedroom. And on to the kids' bedroom. Or wait a minute. I'm gonna put up this painting right there. Oh, okay, now to the kids' bedroom. For the kids' bedroom, we need some beds. And I think what would be kind of cool is if we had these beds. Because they're kind of cabin-like, you know? I've seen lots of those beds. Hold on, I need to find a picture. These beds right here. That sort of vibe. The old cabin by the sea beds. That's what I'm going for. So if you just get these beds in blue. Oh, yes. White and blue. Could have two of them. And then I think it would be kind of cute is if we had a little bit of wallpaper back there. We could get the one for business and hobbies. This one in blue. I don't know if I like that, but maybe I will. Okay, now for the nighttime table. Oh, we can get this one. Kind of shabby, kind of neat. Kind of nice. I am indeed liking that. And then above the beds, we could have some shelves. And then on those shelves, we could have some toys for the kids that they put up there while they're away, you know. The toys have to be on there. And that is a very cute moment. Look, I even put up one of the Trashly paintings. Very cute. And then I think about the beds, we need some rugs. What they call cold feet. We could maybe put up this one. Or maybe this one too. Okay, we can have both of them. You know, the kids have been arguing that they take each other rugs in the morning and their feet gets cold. I don't know. Now they got two. We're also gonna have a fishing pole up there. And then in this corner, we need a wardrobe, so you can get that one. Oh, and what about little Benjamin? Never look better, Benjamin. I do gotta say it. Maybe we can have a little wagon wheel. Could have sized down right there. Sure, I mean, we have space for that. And that was, in fact, the kids' bedroom. All you need to. And the hall upstairs, the hall downstairs. And that was truly house number 1. And I'm floating down. Good gracious me. But alright, that was house number 1. Now we're gonna move on to house number 2. And by house, I mean cabin. So for house number 2, what are we gonna do here? So, okay, so the second floor is all the way here. I see. So maybe we could squeeze in a staircase right there. That sort of works. Alright. And then we could have the living room over here and then the kitchen over there. And for that, I'm gonna put up a wall right there. For some reason, you don't want to show off your kitchen to the entire world, you know? That would have been scary. But okay. Kitchen, dining, living room, entryway. And then we need a bathroom, people. Oh, yikes you. Okay. So what if we get a double bed in here? Yeah, that's not gonna work. I think we just have to go for a single bed situation. And then we need a bathroom. Can I squeeze in the bathroom down here? No, I don't think so, honestly. Oh, yikes you. Okay, what if the bathroom is here? And then we shall have a weird old bathroom right there. I think that could maybe work. It has to work. It just has to work, people. Alright. Yeah, it just has to work. Alrighty, before we start with the furniture, we have to do another teeny tiny little mood board. And I think for this cabin right here, that is gonna be a cabin that is rented out to people. Alright, and the style is gonna be modern. And we gotta remember that we can't put in that much personal stuff in there because yet again, it's being rented out. That would be kind of weird if we had a whole picture collage wall of family members, you know. But anyways, modern, rented out place. Good. Let's start with the kitchen. For the kitchen, I think we're gonna go with these stuff. In what color scheme? Who knows? Maybe, ooh, what about yellow? Since they live in a white house. I thought they had the yellow house. Apparently not. I'm sorry, but they're gonna have some yellow cabinets, no counters, and also the matching stove in yellow. Boom. Oh, and then we also need the sink. Boom, boom, boom. And the stove hood. That would have been nice. And I think for the cabinets, we're just gonna have this shelf thingy-thangity over there. None over here because that would be kind of a little bit too cluttered, too claustrophobic. And yes, I know the windows like that, but that's nothing that I can change about now. I mean, I could, but I don't want to. And then for the trash bin, you can get this fancy old one. And then right there, we need a dining table. Which one can we get? I mean, we can get this one. No, we're not gonna get that one. Change my mind. There's one. That's fancy. With also some modern chairs. I mean, what a modern old fancy moment that was. Well, okay, now for the entryway. I think we need some sort of mirror. And ooh, that would be kind of cool, wouldn't it? I mean, yeah. We gotta remember, modern, minimalistic, no personal stuff. But okay, that was a very sparse entryway. Now for the living room. What are we gonna do for the couches? We could have the couches kind of like so. Or we could have the couches over there. No, that looks weird. But oh, what am I gonna do? Maybe I need to have the couches like so. But what are we gonna have there? Nobody knows. All right. Well, what couches are we gonna go for? Maybe these ones. I mean, yeah. In another color. That one, clean, truly clean. And we're gonna have a table over there with some entryway stuff on that. And then we do need a rug, and I think I'm just gonna go for this rug. Oh no, I'm gonna go for this rug actually. That feels more right. I do feel like. And then for the paintings, we can have a painting over here, and maybe another painting on that wall. So I can't have a window. Yeah, we're gonna have that painting. Okay, now for the big question. What is gonna be in there, people? We can't have a TV. Maybe we can have a fireplace. Oh, we can have this one. That kind of fits in there, doesn't it? All right, I'm gonna do that. And I'm also gonna pair that with some concrete walls and some columns for the protection of the wood. And what are we gonna have in that corner? Oh, such a weird place. Maybe, ooh. Okay, maybe we can have a bookshelf. That's always nice to have, a bookshelf. Beautiful, magical. This is our rented out cabin. The first floor, and now on to the second floor up here. And we could not squeeze in a double bed. You need a single bed. But if we're gonna rent this place out, it would be good to have more than one bed, you know? So what about a bunk bed situation? I think that will be very neat and nice for us. And then we can have this bed under there. Beautiful. Our bunk bed movement. And then we're gonna have a teeny tiny little nighttime table on there. With that lamp that does not fit that table at all. But that's kind of funny because the person who's renting out this cabin, they don't really know what they're doing. They're just putting in stuff and hoping for the best. So, you know, we can have a dresser over there with some very not personal knickety knacks. Oh, wow. And then in that corner, we can squeeze in the mirror. And what else can we squeeze in there? What can we have in that awkward corner right there? Maybe just a hamper? Sure, why not? I mean, what a cabin this is. The person renting this place out, they have lots of good ideas indeed. All right, and then for the bathroom right here. What are we gonna do for the bathroom tiles, by the way? We could go for this vibe or that one. Okay, we're gonna go for that one. And yes, they're all gonna have the same flooring in the bathrooms, but just in a different color, because that's how they were made. And nobody wants to change out the bathroom flooring. But all right, for the shower, we need the shower to be right there. And then the toilet, we need a fancy toilet. So this one in your pop. And then for the sink, of course, this one. And then, oh, we can have this mirror. Very fancy indeed. And then for the very not personal knickety knacks, we can have this toothbrush set just right over there. And then some teeny tiny little shower stuff. And a toilet brush. And some toilet paper. Beautiful. And you know what would be kind of funny with this bathroom is if the owner of this place forgot to put in towels. Both the hand towels and the shower towels, they forgot to put that in. I mean, that's kind of funny. That would also be horrible if you rented out a place and then find out that there's no towels here. And that maybe was the whole entire cabin number 2, the downstairs and the upstairs. And now we're gonna move on to the third and final cabin. And what is that gonna be, people? Nobody knows, not even Nora. And for the third cabin, we also need a teeny tiny little mood board. So what is the vibe for this place gonna be? I think it would be kind of funny if nothing in this cabin matched with each other. None of the furniture matches, you know? They've been getting furniture from all around town. They don't really know what they're doing. They got a cabin, and they're also kind of messy. I think that's our mood board. And alright, for the layout of this place, I've already decided that this is going to be a bathroom. Hey ho. And let's see. The second floor is also very teeny tiny. Can we fit a staircase in there? Oh, it's also on a diagonal. No. And the stairs can't go diagonally. Oh no. I think you gotta be in the ladder. And the ladder is also going to be a diagonal. Oh gee, oh ja. Okay, what if we put the ladder right there? Just floating around. And I think we're just going to put a wall back there. Kind of like so. Just so it's not all hoity-toity around. That could be a plan. Yeah, sure. And then the living room is going to be there. And the kitchen and dining is going to be there. And up here, we're gonna have a bedroom. Good. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So let's start with the kitchen first. And for the fridge, I want this fridge right here. The messy one. Oh yeah. And then for the stove, we're gonna have this one. And oh my gosh, everything is on a diagonal. This is horrible. But for the counters, we're gonna go with that one. And oh my gosh, the shadow glitch. The shadow glitch is on and popping. Sheepa Joe. Okay, let's put up the cabinets. I think we're gonna have a cabinet right there too. Let's see, that looks kind of weird, doesn't it? But if I remove that cabinet, that also looks weird. Oh yikes, what can I do? Yeah, the thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a shelf up there. there. And then we can put some knickknacks up there, maybe. Maybe. So let's put in our kitchen knickknacks and see how this goes. And I gotta remember, it's gonna be kind of messy because they have not cleaned up this place. Whoa. And there we go. My kitchen knickknacks add up. And I'm also gonna put this one right there because why not? That's kind of funny. And then we can put a trash bin right there, the barrel one. Beautiful. And then over on this side, that was gonna be our dining table movement. So I think instead of this shenanigan, we're just kind of a normal table like this one. Push it against the wall with some scrubbed up chairs. And we will have our weird old table moment. Oh, and then for the curtains on this window, what are we gonna do? I mean, that's a weird placement of a window. But okay, something that I think we can do that would be kind of funny, that also kind of fits this place, is if we have a short curtain like this, and then a long curtain. Right there. Because again, they don't really know what they're doing. They're just doing stuff, you know? I mean, you may hate that. I kind of hate that, but it's also kind of funny. So I'm gonna keep that. And then we shall also have a broom and some aprons. Beautiful. A very weird kitchen movement. And now for the living room over here, what are we gonna do? Oh, we are indeed gonna put up some couches. But what couches? They gotta be kind of weird, kind of out and about there. Ooh. Oh, what about this one? Grandma's couch in that shade. Oh, yes. Weird and nice. And then over here, I think instead of another couch, we're gonna have some chairs. These chairs right there. Maybe these colors. That's a plan and a half. And then we're gonna have our coffee table over here with our kind of weird old knickknacks on there. And yes, I know that I put up the TV on the coffee table, but they're trying their best, people. Okay? They couldn't squeeze in the TV table. That's all they got. That's all they got, people. And then, oh, okay, I want some shelves right there to fill in that space. Because, you know, we couldn't really squeeze anything else in there, so I'm gonna squeeze up those shelves. So we can squeeze in the lamp and a random plant. Sure. And then over in this corner, we're gonna have a table. Oh, with maybe some puzzle sets. Yes, that's what you do in the cabin. Puzzle sets and a stack of books over there and a magazine rack. Boom. You know, you gotta have lots of different activities when you're at the cabin, at the sea cabin. And that was the cute old weird old living room. I mean, that really looks like a normal cabin living room when none of you really care about the interior design, you know? I approve cabin in the woods vibes. And then for the entryway, we need the entryway mat with maybe some shoes right there and all the normal entryway stuff. Lots of umbrella stand. Oh, what if right here we have one of the Trashley paintings? I mean, that's kind of a normal cabin painting to have, you know? So I approve. I do. But alright, now for the bathroom. We need some bathroom tiles. And what are we gonna go for? Maybe the yellow ones? Sure, that's good. Then we need the toilet over there. Squeeze it right in. And then the shower can be right there by the doorway, okay? And a good old dusty sink. Dusty, shabby, retro, I don't know. And we can't really squeeze anything on that sink. So what if we have a shelf right there? And that's where we're gonna put our knickknacks. I mean, that's kind of cute. And then underneath the sink, we can also have some knickknacks. So a bucket and the organizer. Yes, that's so messy. I like it. And then I think for the shower, we're gonna have a shower wall, the glass wall, separate it all. I think you can squeeze past that. Yes, you can. Do you believe? I do hope so, at least. But we shall see. I mean, I'm probably gonna forget to test that later on, but I have hopes of testing that. Not that anybody's gonna be playing this house, but I'm gonna test it with all my might. But alright, that was the bathroom, all messy and nice. And now we're gonna move on to the second floor up here. And for the second floor up here, we do need a bed, a double bed. I do believe we have space for. Yes, we do. And what bed are we gonna go for? I mean, we can go for this bed. For sure, that's cozy. And then for the nighttime tables, instead of using normal nighttime tables, I'm gonna use these ones. They keep me clean metal table. Oh, yikes. And I think it's fitting because on their way to the cabin, they realized they needed some nighttime tables. So they went into BuildBuy, bought the first table they saw, and they went, hey ho, let's go. And they skedaddled on. But anyways, we can have an ottoman over there with some towels. Oh, I'm popping off in there. That is beautiful for me. And then for the curtains, maybe we can go for these curtains. I mean, they're massive compared to the window. But yet again, that's kind of funny. They bought some curtains and they realized they do not fit the window and they went for it. They're not going to return those curtains. Oh, no. They got other things to do. But right, over here, we're going to have a dresser moment. No, our wardrobe moment. So I'm going to put up these ones. And you can't really use that one. You can't use this one. So problem solved. And now I'm indeed going to put up my closet knickknacks on there. Good, all neat and nicely. You know, we got some boxes. We got some board games. We got some stuff. Oh, I'm floating up again. Gee, I can't do this anymore. Well, alright, what are we going to have right there? We can't have much because the pathway from that freaking ladder is this teeny tiny little space and need to go to the bed and over there. Oh, what can we have? What can we squeeze in there? Maybe, okay, what if we just squeeze in an easel like this one? I think that's a plan to have. They can squeeze past that, sure. And then right there, we're gonna have the quilted memories that one of the people in this cabin made. What a beautiful time that was. And then we can have the Trashley drawings. Gee, I am not even gonna question that, people. I'm just tired of floating up and down there. Oh, okay. But okay, the rug is gonna be like that and that on top of that. Yeah, sure. They have been painting away. And that was the third and final build. The cabin, whatever. Look at that, the bedroom. And then on the first floor, the whole shebang boom, boom, boom. And that, me friends, was the whole frickety rockery build. Build. And Jibalibalo, that was the shell challenge. I've not forgotten anything, have I? Let's see. No, it's done. 3 beautiful cabins of this shell challenge. Oh, yikes, yo. That ended me. Swaggy zebra. That kind of ended me. But, you know what it's time for right now? Oh, it's time for a frackety house tour. So, let's go. And here we have the build in all its nice and shiny glory. Oh my gosh. I mean, this shell challenge was truly a challenge. But I think I did something. We got a beautiful pathway or water in the back of the build with all the plants and the trees and that dock area. Oh gee, chacho. What a sight to behold, actually. But okay, let's step on inside the build. Let's go down this beautiful pathway. Oh gee, I'm getting seasick. But okay, let's step into, oh, not that one. We're gonna step into house number uno. This place. So here we have cabin number 1 with the living room, the entryway, the mess under the stairs, the kitchen, the dining area, and our magnificent tiny bathroom that I can't really squeeze into. But here it is. Oh gee. Okay, let's step on the stairs. G is a hallway with the jazzy cats, and in here we got our kids' bedroom, cute, with all our toys up there. What toys? Benjamin is here. Got a wardrobe, cute old moment. But okay, let's step onto the perimeter bedroom, and here it indeed is, with our double bed over there and a wardrobe. Whoa, jabba low. That was a moment. Oh my gosh. Now we're gonna go into the second house, the second cabin. I mean, and ta-ta. I should have really put in a window right here. It looks very closed in. Oh my gosh, what's happening now? It's going crazy. But here's the living room with a fireplace and everything. Oh, and then we got a dining area and a very empty kitchen, just how I wanted to do. And then we get all upstairs. We got a teeny tiny bunk bedroom and a mirror and then a bathroom that is missing the towels. Oh, and this area. Oh my gosh, where am I? There we go. Oh, look at that plant. I forgot to. Oh no, I forgot to load it down. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna fix everything. The camera's going crazy, by the way, and I'm getting seasick. But let's step onto the third house right about here, and we shall find our living room. I forgot to paint the ceiling. Gotta fix that too. Here's the living room. I like this living room. So messy, so cozy. Then we got our entryway movement, and our kitchen, the dining movement, and the actual kitchen is over here. Oh, cute. Messy and cute. And then if you step on in here, we got our bathroom. Very squeezy in there. Could have used the window, but hey ho. And then if we go up a ladder, we are met with a bedroom over there, our artsy corner, and our wardrobe corner. Can I do a fish eye? Fish eye. Fish eye. Gee, there's a reason why I never do wide angles when I'm in this mode. It just all collapses. But alright, that was the whole frackety build. And now the challenge is done. Say goodbye to this house, people, because now it's time for the outro. And this is the outro, people. Welcome. If you want to download this house for whatever reason, then you can. It's up on my gallery right now. And my gallery ID is JustNoraGaming. Bam. And don't forget to like, subscribe, because it really does help me out. So thank you. But only if you want to. Only if you want to. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.